Hello, coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. Starting with this report claiming that manager Xavi feels completely betrayed, disappointed by Usman Dembele. We are going to discuss that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Joao Felix, as it has been reported that the Atletico Madrid forward is closest to joining Barca to reinforce attack. Talks have been reactivated. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. With Ousmane Dembele edging closer to an exit from Barcelona, a report from journalist David Bernabeu Rivetta has given an insight into manager Xavi Hernandez's feelings about the whole situation. Dembele informed Barcelona of this intention to join PSG, and the Parisian Giants also sent a formal letter to confirm their interest in the winger, and a €50 million transfer is set to be completed before this weekend. So let's talk about Xavi's disappointment with Ousmane Dembele over PSG move. It is no secret that Xavi is a huge admirer of Dembele and has been his biggest supporter, especially when he came under the fire last year during the contract saga. The manager has always backed the 26-year-old winger and managed to extract his best football over the past 18 months or so. So it does not come as a surprise that Xavi has been left extremely disappointed with Dembele's decision to leave Barca for PSG. Indeed, the report from David Bernabeu Rivetta states that having invested so much in improving his game and changing his perception among the fans, Xavi feels great disappointment that his star winger has opted to leave. The manager even tried to told or to hold late talks with Dembele to convince him to stay, even citing an example of Neymar's struggles in Paris. But it did not work, and Dembele is on his way to PSG, while Xavi is left with a sense of betrayal. So let's talk about replacements being lined up. With Dembele's departure all but given, Barcelona have already begun to look at possible replacements. Bernardo Silva of Manchester City remains their main target to reinforce the squad, but the La Liga champions are also looking at other options, more natural wingers to fill the positions. Most recently, the Catalan Giants are reported to be following Jeremy Doku of Rennes, who also happens to be a target for Manchester City, interestingly. Of course, we'll start getting all kinds of names from the media as Dembele is set to leave for PSG. Dembele is not surprised that his departure, Xavi will feel it like a betrayal and with big disappointment. We know how Xavi has been praising this guy since he became the Barca coach in 2021. And of course, truth be told, Dembele has really elevated his game under Xavi's tutelage, which I think is something great. I think Xavi would always be remembered for that, for being that manager who came and bring out the best of Ousmane Dembele, because we know prior to Xavi coming as the Barca coach, Dembele has been having very terrible seasons, and fans were disappointed because the injuries were too much. Even when he has a chance to play, Dembele does not show the level that he has been showing during his days at Borussia Dortmund. And of course, this should be coming a disappointing news for all the Barca fans, many, in fact, let me say majority of Barca fans, and most especially for Xavi Hernandez, who have always spoken highly of Usman. And we always remember Xavi always calling Usman Dembele the best player in his position. That's something great. That's a huge, huge praise from the manager and the trust that he has for Ousmane Dembele. And of course, we know for sure that Dembele left PSG for the money. Let's forget about the loyalty that he was talking about, that he wants to stay, he wants to do this, to that, do this, to that. The honest truth is the money is the most motivating factor Xavi is disappointed. For that, we all understand. He's betrayed. He should be betrayed. But the player had to go for greener pastures elsewhere, right? Because the 4 million that he was receiving for Barca cannot be compared to 20 million times 5 of what he will be receiving. And that's a lot of tempting factor for him to leave the club. So I think we must move on. Of course, Barca have already started talking about strengthening the squad or finding a replacement for Dembele. Yes, we need to move on. We need to move on without Dembele. You know, that's just what Xavi needs to understand. We have players like Ace Abde. I definitely think Abde should be the one to step up. And of course, there's no way Abde should leave this club. If Abde is to leave this club, then Xavi is not serious. I'm sorry to say this. He's not serious. Because we can't go there spending money when the money is not even there. We are struggling to get some cash injection, but you can't imagine. I just can't imagine a club going for another signing worth millions when we have an academy product who have proved all the fans that he can do it. I think that would be a disgraceful thing. I hope that he stays. I hope that Javi just. So for me, there is nothing like a Dembele replacement. We have Abde there. Why will you go for a player where you will start signing them for for millions when there's a player for free in your disposal? Then on to the next story of discussion. According to a breaking update from David Bernabeu Revota, Joao Felix is the closest to signing for Barca for the various options on the table. The required discussions have already begun. The Catalans are on the verge of losing one of their most valuable forwards soon, with Ousmane Dembele having his heart set on a move to Paris Saint-Germain. Barcelona will receive around 27 million from the 50 million that PSG will pay for the player. That, coupled with a space cleared on the wage bill, could give the club enough room to sign forward and a right back. Barca president Joan Laporta has closely been monitoring the situations of Bernardo Silva and Joao Felix in recent weeks as possible signings for this summer. However, both operations were placed on hold given the tight finances. But with Dembele's departure now near, the Catalans are now deliberating between the two Portuguese stars. While the Manchester City player is the dream target for Barca, Felix's transfer appears to be the easier one to complete. Felix and Diego Simeone's relationship is complicated, to say the very least, and it is safe to say that Los Rojiblancos do not see him as part of their plans anymore. The Blaugrana could look to use the tense situations to their advantage, as he could be more attainable than Silva, who will cost at least 80 million. So why Felix's talent is not questionable? Um, there are concerns over where the young star would fit into Xavi's dynamics. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.